I think like in high school I just used to like start from the intro and just go straight through it, and then that never really ended up in a good paper. But I think after taking a couple of the core classes that you get to see more of these like arguments from scholars, and you start to understand like, oh, this is actually how it's supposed to go, and then you kind of start building more of an argument instead of thinking it as a paper. Usually it's peers. It's usually my friends, I think. It's usually not other English majors. They're not really English majors, but I just kind of have people look at it. Or my dad, he's an editor, so sometimes I'll have him look at it. I don't like saying anything beforehand because I don't like to have that color their opinion of it, so I just let them read it straight through and then ask them what they think, and then I'll ask like, okay, but what did you think about the thesis or the introduction or something like that. The most useful advice would be it's just a process that you learn. I think people think like, oh, just some people are good at it and some people aren't, but I don't think it's that at all. I just think if you try at it, you can just really build yourself up to the point where you start to understand, and then you use that pattern every time you write. I just definitely think it's something that you can build with yourself with practice. Obviously English you do a lot more papers, but environmental science, you wouldn't think that you really build arguments like in a science field, but honestly it's very similar, and I think that's what I really like about it sometimes when I write research papers for biology, because it's really the same thing. It comes down to the evidence, it comes down to your hypothesis, which ends up kind of being your thesis, and then defending that through your evidence, but also using counters kind of as what it could possibly not be to disprove your thesis.